You know what? Third time's a charm. This is the third time I'm doing this video. All right. So this is a VR to Anna with Astral Lady Tarot. She did a tag for your top favorite deck. The one only. The one that just does it for you. And I love how she says just does it for you because, you know, I just do. Anyways, so she has a set of questions here that I'll be answering. And I'll be going through some of the cards as well as we go. So I will also link a description in the description, the questions, these lovely questions that I have to answer. I will put those in the description, as well as a link to her video specifically talking about your top favorite deck. All right, anyways, let's start. Number one. How did I find this deck? Okay, so first off, the deck that I'm choosing is the Shadowscapes Tarot, and the artwork is by Miss Stephanie Law. She does beautiful watercolor artwork, and I'm really, really entranced by it. But anyways, I found this deck several months ago when I had gone into a local shop, and they sell used tarot cards at the local shop. And the family that owns it, they buy them off eBay or whatever, and then they resell them in the store, or people, you know, drop them off and, you know, exchanges, whatever. Anyway, so I go in, it's like my second, maybe third time of going into the shop. And I saw the box for this. It was the much bigger box. This is a little box, but it was a bigger box. And I saw the box for it sitting there, and I just was instantly intrigued by the artwork on the cover of the box. And so I picked it up, and she said that I was allowed to go through it as long as it didn't have any cellophane on it. So I opened it up, and it's got a brilliant book with it. And I didn't know much about tarot at the time. Like, I'd only worked with a couple of decks at this point. And I started just like feeling the cards, looking through the cards, and they are so gentle. They are just so soft, so easy, so, I don't know, just they're my kind of cards. I like knew instantly they were coming home with me. Maybe it's the energy of the deck, maybe it's the art, maybe it's everything. All right. So then, number two, what is it that I love about this deck? So many things I love about this deck. I love the artwork of this deck. I love the intuitive ideas of this deck. Like, I could read these cards intuitively. Like, this is the Ace of Wands. And it is so pretty. The foxes, the soft coloring, the light up here. There's just so much involved. So much energy, so much passion, so much, I don't know, even creativity for me, because I'm a creative person. So this deck speaks to me on a creative level, on an energetic level, on an emotional level, just about every possible level there is. All right. If you needed to name the deck in a few words, what would they be? Creative, emotional, mine. All right. Number four. Do you have a primary use for it? I use it as my main tarot deck. I love reading with it in general, so I just read with it. I don't necessarily use it specifically for shadow work or daily draws or anything. I just read with it whenever I want to. All right. Even though you love it, no deck is perfect. So this is number five. What could be different? What could be different? How could she say there's no deck that's perfect? Like, this is as perfect as it comes, man. Like, I don't know if there is a way that this is not perfect. I mean, the coloring is not too bright or too muted. I don't know. It even has the names on it. I guess if I had to choose something, maybe I would like a more description on some of the cards in the book. Because these cards come with a story inside the book, which I really love, by the way, because I'm an author and I'm a reader. And I love that each card has like its own story. Like, she describes it in a story-like way, the author does. And I guess the meaning isn't always super apparent, and it's not always well, I guess in my opinion, thought out. The card is described, the story is described, but the actual card meaning in tarot as a beginner was really difficult for me to understand with these cards, because that wasn't there. So I guess if there was any imperfection in this deck whatsoever, it would be that. All right, what's next? Let's see. Number 6. What would you say to someone who just got this deck? Honestly, I would tell them they should find one of the cards that really speaks to them internally on a creative level or emotional level, and just look at it, like really explore the card and consider why it means so much to them, and then start doing that with the deck and see how it goes. All right. Do you keep it in a special place? I do not. I have a bag and I have a box that's downstairs.
What?
I'm on live thing. Yeah. Sorry, that was my daughter. She just came in from a school thing. Anyway, so I've got a box that I keep down beside me that I carry with me with several decks in it that I kind of go through when I go to like my tarot meetings and stuff like that. All right, so I guess if that's a special place, that might be a special place. What's next? Do you read with it for others? When I do my tarot readings out at Cassie's shop, I do read for others. But mainly this deck ends up mostly reading for me 90% of the time. I have other decks that enjoy being read by other people, and this deck does like it, but I just don't take it out very much to read with other people. So the last question, the 9th question, is just to go through the deck and point out anything that jumps out to me. So I'm just going to go through the cards so you guys can kind of see them. I don't want them to be blurry or anything like that, so I'm hoping that they get, there we go. There's just a lot in this deck, like the colorings, the purples, the pinks, the blues. They all speak to me. I mean, I'm not a red or yellow person, but I mean, this is the Strength card. Yes, Strength card, which is one of my main cards for my path work or something like that, or my deck card. I can't remember exactly. It's not my Capricorn card. My Capricorn card is the Devil, but this is one of my path cards, 8. And I mean, it's beautiful. When you look at the Strength card, I mean, yes, there's usually like some kind of strong beast creature that's with it, but this one has the swan, which kind of shows like an elegance, a innocence that is there, as well as the strength that comes with it. So I don't know, this deck has so much going on in all of the cards that sometimes when I'm trying to read with them, it's a little overbearing to read with. So I have to be in a good space a lot of the time, because not because this deck wouldn't speak to me in a bad space, but if I'm having a migraine or I'm just not seeing right with my eyes because of my migraines or something like that, it makes it very difficult to read these cards, because sometimes the colorings will blend together, which I love. I love that about this deck, but when my head gets going, I don't love it so much. So I don't necessarily consider that an imperfection. I just consider it my own little quirk. And look at that card. Look at this. See how close I can get it here. Look at that. That's the Knight of Swords. Isn't it just brilliant? I love the fantasy aspects. I do. I love the colorings. There's lots of dragons involved. Lots of fantasy type creatures. I feel like this is a very earthy deck, like a nature-based deck, but I also feel like it's a very ethereal deck, very in the fae kind of realm. There's just, I don't know, these cards are fantastic. The artwork is just so amazing. I can't even, I don't know, like even when I put this deck away, I can always come back to it. It's just the one deck that's always with me and always available to me. This is the Chariot. Look at this. Okay, let's see if I can get close enough that you can actually like see a bunch of details in this. Look at that. Like, look in the background. You have it in the clouds. Look at these unicorn type horses. And then you have the sea kind of turtle things down here in the water. So, I mean, that's like, there's a lot in this card. A lot of movement, a lot of emotion. There's just so much. So much. I don't know. I can't even express how much meaning this deck has for me. Like, okay, so I do like one really good cool thing about it is like wands. All of the wands have these foxes in them, which I just love. All right, this is the death card. And I love this card, and I've talked about it in other videos, I think, in at least one other video. And this card is an interesting death card because look at it. It's not the traditional death card. It's a phoenix being reborn. And a phoenix dies and then comes back to life. So there is that for sure sense of transformation there, that for sure sense of things changing, and not necessarily changing for the worse, but changing for the better, because I mean, this is taking flight, and look at all the brilliant colors. Oh, the artist is phenomenal. She is just phenomenal. Oh, the Hanged Man. When I first started getting cards, the Hanged Man was one of the ones that really drew me in. It's like that different perspective, and it's got a whole new perspective. Let's see if there's any other particular ones that really stand out to me. Because that's the, the main card. Main question is which ones stand out to you. That's a pretty one too. So I'll just show you the next ones that are really pretty for me, or that I really kind of just like in general. How about that? That should work out, right? Okay. All right. Not bad, not bad. Okay. This one is the Fool. I'm trying to get it to focus. Sorry, give me just a second here. Nope, it doesn't want to. It says no on that. Sorry. This is the World. Look at that. Look at all those colors, the moon, everything. There's just so much going on in this card. I just love it, guys. And then finally, the Queen of Cups. I don't even know why this one is like my favorite in the deck. Like, it really is. It's one of my very favorite cards in the deck. I love how she's just like all sprawled out. She's trusting, and she's going for it, and she's letting go and accepting whatever's coming, and I just love this. So pretty. Anyways, that's my favorite deck. I hope to see more of your guys's. This is a VR that's just getting going, so please jump in whenever you're ready. And I hope you enjoyed this deck, and if you don't have it and are interested in it, go pick it up. I mean, it's beautiful. This one has been previously owned, so it's already been edged. Like all the edges cut off. So I know that it does have an edge on it. But yeah, go get this deck or play with it or something, okay? I hope to see more of your guys's, and you guys have a great day.